ending. No, nanda!
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love?
The scientists don't look like scientists. They're wearing these strange little circular helmet things.
It's like they're wearing a television screen on their faces.
Yeah, and on top of this, the design, they're wearing essentially what looks like a mixture between a smock a patient would wear and a robe a priest would have.
How do they not trip on that impractical clothing? I have no idea.
Especially
how.
if you consider when Rio is trying to run away from one of them, the scientist has a gun on him and is chasing him.
Because of course he does.
So here's me thinking, how you do not trip over that?
Yeah, see, it does look like he's about to trip every time he takes a step.
But of course...
It's supposed to be ironic, obviously, but I'm not laughing, so I'm complaining.
Yeah. So, of course, Rio gets away from this guy very easily,
Very easily. Oh, and he has a motorcycle showdown with Tales from Earth's Sea guy.
Sword fights on motorcycles. Actually, this is actually pretty cool for an idea.
Sword fights on motorcycle! Instead of shooting him on the spot, the guy wants to challenging him to a sword fight.
Yeah, an honorable dueling of the swords.
But Rio is all like, nah, screw that noise, and he takes his bike to run away. But it turns out also the guy has his own bike, and they end up dueling, sword fighting aboard bikes while driving those bikes.
I'd like to say conceptually that is awesome in itself.
But in execution, sword fight on motorcycles!
Sword fencing on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycle!
Now I cut your cards with my sword. Anyway,
so the guy dies.
Yes.
Just because he's stupid.
Yes, in the most stupid fashion,
Just falls down.
He basically, because they basically went like Hanna-Barbera up the stairs going like janky animation up the stairs, and suddenly the general guy overshoots the stairs and falls over the wall and onto the other side, and thus implied death.
Well done.
Yes, you certainly had all of that one scene to be a practical and, well, good villain, I guess.
Sword fights on motorcycles!
It takes longer than what we described, of course. But that's part of the course with this movie.
Rio notices Bagi running away with something on her neck.
Yeah, in her neck or in her mouth or whatever.
She was actually running away with something in her mouth, I believe. A sack containing something in it, something mysterious and plot relevant.
Yeah.
Now, after that, he actually spots his mother falling down the stairs after being essentially mangled to death.
Yeah.
So he puts 2 and 2 together, and in his brain, it equals 5. And he thinks Bagi was the one who killed his mother. And basically the rest is history.
Yeah.
He finds the guy, the super incompetent crocodile solo guy, Salmon Bond.
Yes, Salmon Bond.
And he convinces him to train him, to use guns. Because if you want to train at a job that requires some level of competence to get it done, you go to Salmon Bond, clearly, for training purposes. Yeah. It's like the Master of Sword in Melee Island.
Alright, I'm gonna flip the coin. If you shut up.
Anyway, so Salmon Bond, Master of Gun, trains young Rio to be as good as he is. Oh, by the way, guess what? He was fired from his job!
Yeah, and
because he's a bloody idiot!
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the building was on fire.
Yeah, the building gets inexplicably on fire. I don't remember the reason for that.
Maybe the leader of Monaco decided to You're fired, building!
Anyway, now we get back to
The
present
present time.
time. Well, almost present time, because there is still a bit of pointlessness
Yeah.
in which we get to see how Rio met his Speedy Gonzales child Mexican sidekick,
Yeah, Chico.
Chico,
Yes.
Pecos,
yes.
Pedro.
So, yeah, that's very, very important, by the way.
Yes, so some sort of local bureaucrat accompanied by a couple of classic Tezuka characters, including the Candlehead guy and Ham Heg, which we briefly acknowledged earlier on. He shows up in this bar, in this saloon, if you will, to hire, I guess, Indiana Rio to catch the predator Bagi, which was suspected to be
Killing villagers and all
killing villagers. She was framed by a pack of wild mountain lions, by the way.
Yes.
That's another subplot amidst all these million subplots that we don't care about. But he needs to convince this child to let him know where
Bagi, it was seen last.
or where the village is,
Yeah,
apparently, or something along those lines. But the child doesn't trust adults, or something,
Well,
or
yeah.
something very unclear about that. But
Yeah, something to do with I don't trust people. Unless they can shoot a rock.
unless they can shoot my rock, then I'm going to lasso at them. And by the way, to prove how good I am with lassoing rocks, I'm going to kill a random vulture that had nothing to do with anything. Because animal cruelty is wrong! Unless is, something that makes you look cool, I guess.
Yeah, that does seem to be the point of this movie.
It doesn't really connect with anything else. I mean, he does use that lasso rock, that rocking lasso,
Yeah.
which has a specific name that I'm not remembering.
Yeah,
right
I don't
now,
know either.
To kill a mountain lion in the worst and most cruel way possible, honestly.
It looks excruciating, let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
It's like it uses the lasso to block the circulation of blood and oxygen around
the
his
stomach
chest area or stomach area, so it looks like he's actually dying, suffocating, while his internal organs are being crushed.
That is a very terrible way for an animal to go.
For anyone to
Yeah,
go,
for
really.
anyone to go.
So anyway, they get to the latest slaughtered village. They found out it was not Bagi who killed the villagers.
It was mountain lions.
Mountain lions! So they killed the mountain lions, including the mountain lion boss.
Who has a scar and everything. Inexplicably.
Whatever, and then they finally get back to where they were at the beginning of the film, which is this dinosaur mouth-shaped cave that Buggy is supposed to be inside of. Methinks.
Yes.
Anyway, so the climax.
Yeah.
We did not discuss this properly, but Buggy is a bit OP.
Yeah.
She doesn't just have scanner powers, mental control as it were. She's super strong, claws of steel, super fast,
agile.
and
I mean,
apparently that's all you can get by mixing mountain lion DNA with humans, which is... She can also dig underground very fast, like a mole or a rabbit, or something that's not a mountain lion.
Yes. Because apparently, when you're a mountain lion, you can dig through the hardest of dirt and rocks.
You can do anything! So, a couple of helicopters and a small army show up, led by the bureaucrat from earlier. It turns out their plan was to follow Ryu and Chico to the place where Buggy was all along, to kill the mountain lion. The monster of mighty nature. And they get all hypnotized, and Buggy forces them to shoot them to death, and then she single-handedly destroys the two remaining helicopters. Their plan was great.
Their plan was great for 5 seconds.
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose. Feel the magic, hear the roar. Thundercats are loose. Thunder, thunder, thunder,
now we have finally the final showdown between the two lovers, I guess, and it seems like Bagi is about to kill him, but she recognizes him and hesitates, and the guy stabs her in the stomach. In the most bloodless stabbing I've ever seen, mind you.
Yeah. Can I also say that when I first saw the scene, I thought basically, thought when she stopped, I thought it was because Rio basically sneakily stroked her chin like he did in the past, essentially.
No,
So-
she wouldn't realistically had the time to do that. But
Well,
oh yeah, by the way, we did not mention this. Apparently, stroking her chin like this.
Yeah, like that.
It's her G-spot,
Yes, she loves that.
which she revealed to him. You know what? This would have been a clever way to resolve the final conflict.
Yeah.
And that would have been a clever way to foreshadow that. But no, it doesn't really lead into anything. It's just there because...
Yeah, it's why I thought that's what happened at first. Yeah,
no.
But no, I was disappointed.
So it looks like she's dead. And it looks like Rio also realizes that she did not kill Mother. It was the dogs! The damn dogs framed Bagi! Everybody is framing Bagi in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, because apparently Baggy is such a frameable person, apparently.
Apparently.
But
So he's sad.
Yeah, he's sad because
he discovers
because
the
he-
pendant
yeah,
in the lion's neck.
which
And,
has a note in it.
hey, son, Bagi did not kill me. Love, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, she went to bury that corrupted, poisonous, venomous rice grain that I made, and so nobody will find it, and she's our hero, and she saves the nation and the world and humanity, and please don't kill her. Oops! Whoops! Whoopsie doodle. Oh no, so killing animals is wrong after all. No, Bagi, we're going to go back to Japan. Sniff, sigh, sob, and we were going to be a family together. Sniff, sigh, sob, boo-hoo-hoo. That's the whole scene summarized to you in the most professional way possible.
Yeah, it pretty much is all that drama there.
All that jazz. But wait, she was not dead.
Yes, because
I mean, she was not even bleeding, so I guess she was alive, but... So the last scene of the film, after they realize that Bagi is alive, to live in nature as nature intended it,
yeah,
because that's the message. That's very not ham-fisted message. The last shot of the film is Bagi running across the land with the sun setting behind her.
yeah,
The end.
yep. That's it.
Pretty much.
That's the end of the movie.
This film is a complete train wreck.
It
The
is-
tone is all over the place.
It's disjointed, the entire thing.
Absolutely.
And-
It cannot decide what genre of schlocky B-movie it wants to be, so it tries to be everything it can be.
The dark moments and the light-hearted moments are all
Pretty
over the place.
exchangeable, honestly.
Yeah, they just go to and fro.
There is not a proper transition in between a more serious moment and a more supposedly comic relief one, because they are pretty much interspersed and interconnected in the same bloody sequences and scenes, which unfortunately it is par for the course with Tezuka's films.
Yeah, and his
He cannot pace a film, a hour and a half long film to save his life. He's much better in telling half an hour long stories.
yeah, like Astro Boy, which a lot of people always quote, essentially.
Well, it is his most known work. Maybe not his best, but definitely his most popular.
And yeah, most notable on his resume.
Yes. So, Bagi, the Monster of Mighty Nature. I love this film, but, you know,
It's
mostly ironically.
it's enjoyable for how bad it is.
It is pretty bad, but it is pretty riffable as well. It is
very
funny.
It's very entertaining to watch and then just make fun of it with you, whether by yourself or with friends, essentially.
Yes. Possibly with a very strong orange juice to help you get you through that.
Ta-da!
We are not sponsored by this, by the way.
Yeah, hence why I've not shown the actual tag thing.
Good thinking, mate. So, again, thank you for joining us. This has been us blogging about a cult classic furry Masterpiece?
Yes, let's call it a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece for all the right reasons.
Well, we got a mess here. Let's just put it to film.
I was going to say furry romance madness.
Well,
Furry romance insanity and very misguided environmental messages just thrown in it for good measure. It's insane, but it is damn entertaining.
yes, it is very entertaining.
All in all, this was the weirdest adaptation of Crazy Cat I've ever seen.
A talking cat.
No,
well,
you know,
yeah, I know. I'm just making my own joke.
So I guess by that logic, Rio is supposed to be Ignat's mouse, but he doesn't throw bricks at her.
Yeah, true.
He stabs her in the stomach.
Oh boy.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. See you later.
See you later. And now if you excuse me, I'll be getting a 10-gallon hat to go with my orange juice so I can drink it and go to El Cucaracha laboratory to work on my
Yeah,
next
the
project.
laboratory is named Cucaracha. What the hell?
Exactly. So me and Madhog are going to go to Cucaracha and make ourselves some... We're gonna make some dog men. I'm hoping. Okay, I think that should be all.
Okay. Yeah. That was interesting.